Hello everyone. Today we are exploring sequential and simultaneous animations. Utilizing the power of coroutines, we can easily define a sequence of steps, allowing animations to occur one after the other, creating a delightful sequence of motions. Moreover, we can execute multiple animations in parallel. So we will look into these sequential and simultaneous animations one by one. So first let's create a new file. So first we will look into this sequential animation, how we can create animations one after the other. So to illustrate this, I will take a box. First we will animate the offset of that box, then the size of that box. So here let's create a new composable function. So here first let's take a box layout. So in this box layout, we will take a box and a button. So with that button, we will trigger the animation. So here in this box layout, there will be a box and a button. So this button will be aligned to the bottom center and this box will be aligned to the top center. First, let's minimize these imports and see how this is looking. So here we have our box and a button. So we will animate the Y offset of this box and then the size of this box. So here let's create two values. First for the Y offset with the help of this remember. So here we have this animatable. So we can provide the initial value here. So initially we will use the 0f. Let's import this animatable. Next, let's create a value for that scale. So here we will give the initial value to 1 and these values we will use. Here we have this graphic layer modifier and we can use these values here. Now next, how we will animate these values. So here first let's create a value with the name trigger animation. Let's use this remember. So here we will use this mutable state of. Initially we will keep the false value and let's import these. And here let's use this launched effect and key we will use this trigger animation. So whenever this value will be changed, so our launched effect will be triggered. And in this launched effect block, here let's use this if block. So to animate these values sequentially, we can use this coroutine scope. And in this coroutine scope, first we will change the offset. So here let's use this y offset dot animate. So we can provide the target value here. So the target value, let's use this 1000f. And after this, again we can use this coroutine scope. Now we will animate this scale value. So here let's use this scale dot animate to and target value let's use 3f. So it will scale this box to 3 times. And this trigger animation value we will change whenever we will click on this box. So let's use this trigger animation and we will update our value to true. Now let's run our app. So here we have our app. So let's click on this start button. And we can see those two animations were one after the other. So first let's close this app and open it again, and again press this start button. So we can see again these animations were sequential. So now let's look into those simultaneous animation, how we can do. So for that, here let's copy this whole function and paste it below, and this time let's change the name to simultaneous. And only thing we need to change in this function is, instead of this coroutine scope, let's use this launch block, and again this launch. Let's use this function in our main activity and run it again. And again let's click on this start button. So now we can see our animations were simultaneous, means both these values were animating at the same time. The only thing we changed in this, instead of those coroutine scope, we just use this launch block. So again let's close this app and open it again and click on this start button. So we can see our animation is simultaneous. Both these coroutine scope and launch are used to start a new coroutine, but they have different behaviors. With coroutine scope, we are launching two coroutines within the same coroutine scope. This means they will be executed sequentially, one after the other. And with launch, we are launching two separate coroutines independently. This means they will be executed concurrently, potentially overlapping or running simultaneously. Next, we will create this image post like animation. You must have seen this animation in the Instagram app when you like any post. So with the help of these coroutines, we can create this animation. So let's minimize this, and here let's create a new composable function. So here again let's take a box, and in that box we will take an image and an icon. So here we have our box, and in this box we have this image and an icon. So let's use this composable function in our main activity and see how this is looking. So here we have this snake image and an icon. So we will animate two values of this icon, the scale value and this alpha value of this color. So here let's create two values. So let's use these two values in our icon. So here we have this graphic layer modifier. So let's use these values. So how we will animate these two values? So here in this image, whenever we will double tap on this image, we will animate these two values. So here we have this modifier called combined clickable. Since we don't need those clickable effects, so we need to change this interaction source. So here let's use this remember with mutable interaction source. And after this we need to provide this indication null, and on this on click we can provide some other functionality. For now let's leave it blank. So here we have this on double click parameter, so let's use this on double click. So this is giving error, so let's obtain this experimental annotation. Here we will start our coroutines. So here let's create a scope value with this remember coroutine scope. So here let's use this scope dot launch. So first thing we will use 3 blocks of coroutine scope. So let's use this coroutine scope, this one, and let's copy it and use it 2 more times. It means we will provide 3 sequential animations. So here in the first block we will give the enter animation. So here let's use a comment. So in this enter animation, we will animate 2 values simultaneously. So again, we will use the launch block because we need to animate 2 values simultaneously. So first one, we will change the alpha value. So here, let's use this color alpha dot animate to and target value to 1f. So we will animate from 0 to 1, and in the same way here we will animate this scale value to 2f, and here we will provide the exit animation. So again let's use these 2 launch block because we need to animate these 2 values simultaneously. So here we will change this color alpha value again to 0 and this value to 3f. And in the last coroutine scope, we just need to change this scale value to again 0f. Now let's run our app. So here let's double tap on this image. So we can see we have this animation. But one thing we need to do is let's put some delay after this first block of coroutine scope. So let's use this delay and 500 milliseconds. So let's run our app again. So now double tap again. So we can see we have this pretty animation as we expected. So what is happening? First this block is running. So here we are animating 2 values at the same time. And at the same time we are also scaling up this icon. And after this block we are putting a some delay. After this again we are animating 2 values at the same time. So here again we are fading out this value, and after this we are just changing this value to 0f. So this is how we use coroutines to give sequential and simultaneous animations. This is all for this video. In the next video, we will look how we can use Lottie files to use some stunning animations in our app. If you found the video helpful, please like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.